Yo, what up? It's Aaron Moses. Now, this video is on a beautiful way that I learned through meditation and through recommendations from people a part of the nation on how to do a psychic attack on someone. Beautiful. All right, so first, you will need 3 to 4 pictures of the person. I would recommend three. Okay. Now, well, okay, you can get four. You can get four. The fourth picture is really so you can have an idea on what the person looks like and to keep that image close to you. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this first picture of this person and we're gonna apply the element earth. I mean air, excuse me, air to it. How do you do that? Number one, you can take the person's picture and look and speak negativity into the picture. Now, what's really important about this picture is that preferably, it needs to be of the person wearing white with a white background. If they're not wearing white, that's fine, but preferably they should be in front of a white background, okay? Or they could just be a giant head, just like that picture of Soldier Boy, all right? You want to speak negativity into this picture. You want to look that person in the eyes. You want to feel it in your heart and just press it into the person's aura. You want to be able to see the person's aura as whatever color you want to see it, black, silver, red, whatever color it is. Usually I use specific colors for specific things, okay? You can use whatever color you want, just add some black to it, muddy it up, brown, gray, just nastiness, right? If you smoke, or if you're willing to smoke, if you smoke cigarettes, this is really important. You can take the cigarette, smoke it, inhale it, feel the negativity, and just blow the cigarette smoke onto the picture. If you don't smoke, you can use a cigar. You could use one of those big presidential cigars. You could use a cigarillo, or you can use a black and mild, whatever it is that you want to use. And just puff it and just blow it on there. It'll have similar effects, but the fact that it's not circulating through your lungs, changing the rate of your heart, where all your stuff could be stored, is gonna have a different effect. Okay, but the importance is intention. There's gonna be biological things that go on, like I said, with the person who actually inhales the smoke. But of course, I don't recommend anyone start smoking, especially for such a reason. Okay, so next is really up to you. You can repeat that step with the rest of these pictures and apply the other elements to it later. But the reason I wouldn't do that is because I wouldn't want to throw off the effectiveness and the elemental balance of this ritual. So for the picture that you did this to, you can now take this picture, fold it up, and bury it, preferably in a cemetery. But if you bury it in a cemetery, you have to know what you're doing. For certain people, you might have to tap into specific energies, gatekeepers, things like that. And I'm not talking about the guy who cuts the grass and locks up at night. That not that gatekeeper, the spiritual gatekeeper. All right. For this, you're gonna want to pick a cemetery that welcomes you. Okay, you're gonna want to pick a cemetery that just feels good to you. Okay, it's not all cemeteries are accepting of everything. You're gonna want to have specific offerings and just know what you're doing when it comes to this style of magic. Okay, simple, right? Bury the picture. You can pour. Well, what I did was I buried the picture and then I poured rum around the picture in a circle. I said a little something, 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 and then it was done and I left. Okay? So from air to earth, then the next two elements, fire and water. Now, for the fire, you have to be. So my experience of was this, because I am a fire sun sign. I'm an Aries. I didn't need to focus as much energy on this because I am fire. Okay. I could have left this out, but I was really intending on hurting this person. Now, side note, guys, you have to be very clear that you don't want this person, you still want this person to be alive, okay? But at the same time, guys, you have to understand that when you do anything like this, you have to understand that there's a possibility that they could not be. So you have to be okay with that. Because the combination of these things could possibly make sure that that person is not here for too much longer. So don't do this if you're not okay with this person not being here anymore. Don't do this to your best friend because she stole $20, but that's still your sister. Don't do this to your brother because he punched you in the arm when you were 3. Don't do don't do this for simple little stuff, okay? And because this takes days, there should be enough energy, whether that be anger, depression, anxiety. There should be enough negative emotions for you to store. I mean, for you to have towards this person to keep doing these things and to be able to keep evoking, raising these energies and pushing them into one specific spot. Okay. So if you don't feel like there's enough of that, you probably shouldn't be doing all these steps. You can do two. You can do the earth and the air, or you can do the fire and the water, or you can do the water and the earth, or you can do the air and the fire, or you can do, just 2 elements, or just one. You don't have to do all 4. I just did all 4 because I wanted to, because I had that much energy inside me for that person. Okay, so next, the fire, bro. Again, if you're a fire sign, it doesn't matter if you act like it. If your sun is in a fire sign, you don't have to put that much energy into it. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to take this picture, write on it, bro. But you could put X's on their eyes, and again, if you do that, there's a possibility that person might not be here for too much longer. You could put X's on their eyes. You could draw all kind of just be creative, man. You could write, this is why I want you to have a white background. You can write things around, words around them. You can draw like a knife going in one side of their mouth and coming out the other, or something wrong with their neck, or just be creative. Be creative. There's certain things that I did. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what I did. Oh, you know what I did? The picture of this person was from like the top of their abs to the top of their head, like their solar plexus area to the top of their head, and where their solar plexus stopped, I drew a wheelchair under them, so it looked like they were in a wheelchair. So it was pretty much like a little cartoon. I drew one wheel on the side, like under their arm, another wheel on the side under their arm, and then I drew a chair, I drew a wheelchair under them, and the person was wearing a white shirt. So yeah, explains why it had the outcome it did. But you can do all kind of stuff. You can draw, like if the person is a former addict, like say if they smoked meth, you can draw a meth pipe coming out their mouth, all kind of stuff, bro. You can write on the back of the picture, and then of course you take the picture, speak all the negativity, and program their aura, program their energy, and fold it up loosely. You can fold it into 4 or 8, and then set it on fire. And now, see, the thing about these things is with the fire thing, you have to have a specific affirmation. You make your own affirmation with this fire, or I am, or you are, or you have. Say the person's name. Now, a lot of people like to know the person's birthday. You don't have to know the person's exact birthday. You can know the person's sun sign. That's good enough. And use those elements against them. Okay, you can draw their sun sign on it. You can draw all kind of stuff. You can draw Saturn on top of Mars, all kind of, just be creative, man. Just use your creativity, bro. And put all that energy in that. And then next, water. It's pretty obvious. You could do the same thing, do something similar. So me, of course, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat chicken. And so what I did was I got a pickle jar and I got some chicken wings. And what I did was I took all the chicken off of the bone by hand and I put it in the jar. No, I didn't put I put the bones in the jar with water, pink Himalayan salt, and I put some oils on the inside of the jar, closed the jar, right? Then I took a brown paper bag, put the meat in the brown paper bag, called upon a specific entity, deity, energy, and I told them that this offering was for them, okay? And then I repeated the steps, visualized not visualize the person, put all the negative energy into this picture, wrote some weird stuff on the back, folded it up, and I didn't put the picture in the bag. I didn't do that. So what I did was I programmed the water with positivity, call upon the ancestors, and shook it with my intentions, positive intentions, bro. Positive intentions to shield me. Then the next day I live right by a bridge. The next day I dropped the meat off the bridge, saying that this is for the ancestors known and unknown and that specific deity. And then I put the person's picture in the water separately. Do not put the picture in the bag. That's low-key disrespectful. That's high-key disrespectful. Don't put the picture in the bag, okay? Don't. And drop them preferably in 2 different spaces. Now, if you don't have any bridges or any water, anything like that by you, you can just leave the bag. Well, you don't have to use chicken specifically. You can use something else. But you can feed the chicken to your animals. You can leave it where animals are going to eat it. And you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to use chicken. You can buy a whole bunch of bread and make some sandwiches for the homeless. Okay, you can feed the birds. Okay, but I would recommend spending at least $5 on this. Feed the birds. I mean, I wouldn't. A lot of people have wildlife by their house, possums and raccoons. If you don't want to do that, just do it out. Do it away from your home. But the point is giving back. Giving back. And you can flush the picture down the toilet. If that's what you want to do, you could rip it up, flush it down the toilet, rip it up with anger, flush it down the toilet, and all the energy is gone. You could let the picture pieces sit in the toilet, program the water, visualize it as black, flush it down the toilet, clean your toilet with some bleach, take a shower, and stand with your back towards the shower, lukewarm water, and I want you to visualize all the blackness coming off your body. Just visualize all the darkness washing down the drain. Just nasty, just the muddiest darkness coming off you, but it's going down the drain. And then I want you to see there's no more. It's just you're clean. There's no more blackness coming off your body anymore. You're clean. It worked. Okay, so that is how. Oh, wait. The last part. And the last part, they're like, Aaron Moses, who hurt you? You had this this took a couple. Yeah, it did. It took like 4 days to do all of this. And because one day it was raining and I was like, And the other day I was like, I don't have money for chicken, man. But no, this took 4 days. This took a long time, okay? And I didn't even do it initially. I didn't even do it for like a week. But yeah, visualize. Visualize the worst thing that you can visualize. You could visualize you holding that person down and committing some kind of act on them that I don't want to say on YouTube. You can visualize a lot of things, man. Just the negativity. But the thing about this is, guys, before you start any of this, the most important thing is that you shield, protect yourself. Bubbles, okay, shield for at least 3 days. Shield every day for like 15 minutes. 15 minutes should do it. So 45 minutes of shielding. And no, I know what you're thinking out there. If you do a 45-minute shield in one day, is that going to help? No, it's about consistency. It's about consistency and intention over time. You taking a break and letting it act is kind of like an immune system. It's kind of like an immunization. When you make this shield, you have to interact with the world. So it's tested, so you know where the holes are, and so it knows how to respond to certain things. And then you fall asleep, and you might interact with something in your sleep, and then you wake up, and then fill the cup back up, put another layer on it, or add to the layer, or strengthen the layer. Go back in the world, interact with the people, dream. Okay, then wake up again. Boom. It's about the consistency and the aging of the shield. It's not about the exact time of 45 minutes and sitting down in one session. For specific things, getting stuff off you, yes, that can work. But if you're going to do something this heavy and put all this negativity out in the world, yes, you need to wait and shield for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. Okay? What else do I have to add to this? What I have to add to this is, I would say, just like that money tip I gave you guys, wait a couple days, bro. Because if you start doing something this extreme, if you do all 5 of these steps this extreme, then you should have enough anger or whatever it is inside you to be able to wait to assess to see if you really want to do all 5 of these steps. And again, you don't have to do all 5. You could do one. You don't have to do it so extremely. You can draw on the person's picture, spit on it, rip it up, flush it down the toilet. Boom. You can program the person's picture. It's not about the person's picture, it's the energy. Program the person, draw on it, set it on fire, take the ashes, put the ashes in the cemetery, let it be that. Okay, you don't have to go so hard and be so extreme. This is for like some extreme stuff. Okay, so you can do these individually. You have to shield, especially the visualization, because some people are just protected like that. You might visualize you punching that person in the face and then wake up the next day and your nose starts bleeding for a very good reason, because you didn't shield and because you didn't know what you were doing and because you can't control yourself. Okay? In my experience, when I did the when I did the fire element, when I drew on the person's picture and set it on fire, I was at work and I started getting really hot for no reason, and I just got real angry for no reason for like 30 minutes, and then I got really sad, and it's because I did that and I didn't shield properly. I did, but I put too much intention into it, which I didn't have to, because I am the fire element. I could have just burnt the picture a little bit. I didn't have to do all of that. I could have just burnt it slowly with incense, and I didn't have to do what I did so extremely. So take that into account, guys. If you're a water element, son, then you might not want to go so hard with the water. I mean, that's the actual step. So however you want to modify it, you can modify it. If you're a air sign, you might want to turn it down, and whatever the sun sign it is that you are. It doesn't matter if you're Aries and you don't act like the typical Aries. It doesn't matter if you're a Capricorn and you don't act like the typical Capricorn. You, I would say, need to turn it down. Certain things that there are certain things that you just can't turn down. What are you gonna do? Rip the person's picture in half and just bury half the picture now and half the picture in a week? No, I mean, that could help a little bit, but at the end of the day, bro, it's about you shielding, you being able to detach from the situation, being able to control yourself, and understanding the elements and how to bend them. Now, a lot of this was probably just bubble shield activities. The energy that I put out came back to me because I didn't know how protected this person was and how important and how extreme what I was doing was. I didn't understand. I mean, can you put too much intention into into this? I mean, it's up to you. But the last thing I want to say, I probably should have said this first. But if you're gonna do this, you need to be putting positivity into the world as well. You need to be helping old ladies cross the street, giving people directions, loaning people money. You need to be doing all of that because uh, you should know. If you've ever seen the movie The Craft, you should know exactly why you need to be putting positivity into the world. And you don't. It just doesn't feel good, man. When I was doing this ritual, this whole week long thing, I was doing free readings for like 2 weeks. And it certainly protected me exactly how I wanted it to. This is why. I mean, a lot of people, if you're going to be a part of this lifestyle, you should probably have a good amount of friends or some kind of following and some kind of skill that you can contribute to the world that is not going to hurt you to to give out. If you feel like you're a valuable person, or if you're like me and people pay you to talk to them, you can do some free sessions, things like that. Talk to people, talk to old women that don't get masculine attention, and just give them that and just fill that void. Okay? But that is how you do that, man. That's how you do that. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend this unless somebody did. You shouldn't do all 5 of these steps unless somebody did something to you that's going to traumatize you. That has traumatized you. Something that's going to leave you with some PTSD. Okay? Not if somebody just broke up with you and they don't want to talk to you anymore and you're a narcissist. I'm not talking about that. Not because somebody doesn't want to be your friend anymore. Not that. If somebody has done something to you that is going to traumatize you. Not if somebody broke your heart or cheated on you. No. Okay? Which is why I shouldn't be putting videos out like this, because people are not responsible and logical and rational when they start to get emotional. Okay, you gotta vent, get it out, and then logically assess when you're not angry anymore if this is something that you want to do. And do most people do that? No, they don't. They just act. There's a difference between choices and instincts, bro. A choice is to buy a nice shirt. Instinct is, I smell fire. I smell smoke. What is that? Something that you can't control not being excited by the smell of smoke inside of a building where there shouldn't be smoke. If you're in an office building and not a restaurant and you smell something on fire, that should alarm you. That's not a choice. You buying a new shirt because it's going to make you look cool for your new friends, that's different. Okay? In this situation, this is the new shirt that you want to buy to look cool for your new friends. This is not smoke in an office building, okay? So use this information wisely. Don't be stupid. Because the thing about it is, guys, if you do something to somebody and they don't deserve it, no matter how protected and shielded you think you are, bruh, it's going to affect you. It might not be today, and it might not be tomorrow. But if you didn't do it for a righteous reason, if you didn't, if you did it just because because you got your feelings hurt, or because your ego was wounded, or because you're a narcissist and you don't know how the world looks through other people's lenses, you're gonna get hurt, bro. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Certain things you can't escape. And there are certain things you can, but a lot of people don't know how to do that. Just like I said, there's mutable laws, and there's immutable laws, and a lot of people don't know what they need to know to escape the unescapable. Right, right. So that's it, man. It's Aaron Moses. I hope you watched this whole video, because there's so much information, and if you just watch the first 15 minutes, but that's okay. That's not up to me. That's up to you, for you to have the knowledge. Well, some people will get it, some people won't. And that's it, guys. Sarah Moses. Life is in the breath. Breathe it in. Peace.